Hello YouTube and welcome into another part 0 or guide video alongside our one more marathon happening live over on twitch.tv/thegamemechanic. Join us live, won't you please? Today we're talking about Poland. This is a very interesting civ. She is a prototypical crusade kind of a civ. She can also do tourism things if you set up your game correctly. Lithuanian Union in the base mode is actually improperly worded. It says that encampments give you a major adjacency bonus. That's a lie. It is correct in this one in that let's start with the religion founded by Poland becomes the majority in an adjacent city that loses a tile to a Polish culture bomb. So we'll get into culture bombing here with her in a second. But you can spread your religion by culture bombing your neighbors. That can happen both through our own abilities and then also in the World Congress. You can get districts that culture bomb. There's an engineer that allows your industrial zones to culture bomb. There are various ways to do that, and it's a very interesting way of spreading your religion, ideally with crusade on it. Holy sites gain a standard faith adjacency bonus from adjacent districts. That is correct. So that means that your holy sites just kind of want to be in the middle of a bunch of other districts so that you can get +6 on them, which is quite good. Pairs well with work ethic if you want to go that route. Pairs well with the doubling of the adjacency bonuses policy card, and other various things. So she can get quite strong holy sites, which is awesome. And then in addition to that, relics and heroic relics with this mode on give you faith, culture, and gold. Very, very spicy. If you can get candy in your game, do so, because you will get even more out of these things. Remember that on heroes mode, you can get heroic relics fairly early on in the game. You can retire or delete your hero to get it instantly, or just let them expire or die in combat. You can also get void relics with if you join the void as a part of secret societies. So there are lots of ways of getting relics in this version of Civ. Back in vanilla, there weren't so many. So it was kind of hard to do. You had to luck into them. But now that you have some reliable ways of getting it, this is a very powerful ability. There are also strong sources of tourism, and you can pick a religious dedication to go with your relics as well. So pretty interesting. Culture bombing is part of our Golden Liberty. So you can culture bomb adjacent tiles when completing an encampment or fort inside friendly territory. So that allows you, once you have military engineers, to sort of crusade the world down. You generally want to have crusade as a part of your religion if you're going to play Poland and do war stuff, because it's very, very strong and reliable in terms of spreading your religion. You get era score for converting civs on the front line of a war, which is really good. And then obviously 10 combat strength in enemy territory is quite spicy. Hercules also pairs very, very well with Poland, as you can auto-complete an encampment and get this going. Military engineers are pretty cheap, and that's kind of the preferred way of doing it, but sometimes you'll be a little bit limited in terms of which tiles you can do. And remember that you actually do have to culture bomb one of the tiles to convert to your religion. So pay attention to how far away the city is and what tiles you can actually steal from them, because you cannot steal districts or wonders and things like that. So pay attention to your positioning a lot with this. In addition to all that, one military policy slot is in the current government is converted to a wild card policy slot. That's really, really strong, actually. She's one of the few civs that can take advantage of revelation profit points per turn because of converting her military slot to a wild card. So you can target this and get an early and reliable religion with her. It's a very, very strong ability. Just in any government, but also lets you utilize early war governments, oligarchy, even autocracy gets a little bit better, because it just you don't get so bogged down with military policy slots. Although you'll probably want to run several if you are going to dominate the world. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to dominate the world? Well, you're going to have crusade, and then you're also going to have your winged hussars, Polish unique Renaissance era unit that replaces the Cuirassier. I never quite know how to pronounce that. Pushes defending enemy units back from their hex in any battle where they score more damage. Defenders cannot retreat, defenders that cannot retreat suffer additional damage. This is a very, very strong unit. It is available in your culture tree, so you're going to want to target something like choral music or just, you know, a strong theater square or two paired with maybe a wonder early on, Colosseum, all sorts of ways of getting strong culture. It's interestingly timed because you can get there and it only requires iron, but it's kind of far. It's kind of far in this tree. So again, you want that good culture. But this can be a very, very, very strong unit. Only 10 iron. You can build it pretty quickly with with chivalry, or you can get here and use your strong culture to get you to nationalism and use either corps or armies eventually of these as well. So it's a very interestingly placed unit. It feels a little bit expensive, but I kind of like the play path and play pattern. Couple this with a general and couple this with crusade. You can have 100 or so strength on your winged hussar if you want to use that almost exclusively for your domination purposes. And then we have a unique building, which is a unique market. This is pretty cool. It allows her to into space, honestly, if you want to. International trade routes from the city gain production, which is quite nice. Normally, you just get a lot of like gold or other things. You can get really strong trade routes in general with this. But 2 extra production from international trade routes is very, very strong. Domestic trade routes gain extra gold. So either way you want to run it early on, this is quite strong. You don't need to have a ton of them, although you certainly want a commercial hub and markets in every city that you can. But just getting one of these early and then focusing all of your trade routes to that city can be very, very strong, either for, you know, growth and gold or just a bunch of production by going internationally. So Poland, very, very, very fun. Use this guide to your own delight. How do you like to play Poland? Again, you can do tourism stuff if you want. You can into space, or you can just classically crusade your way through the game. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it.